Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited because I am doing a series that I'm kind of bringing it back from the past. A lot of you guys might have found me from this series, but I'm making it post-grad and for more, I guess, yeah, post-grad for adults. So this is Natacha.
Hi.
She is the lead designer at Rella, and I wanted to do the How I Chose My Major series that I did in college, except for the real world, post-grad, all of that stuff. So I don't know what I'm gonna name it. So if you guys wanna help me with the name, you can comment it, but it's pretty much like how I chose my career choices, how I got to where I am, something along those lines. You guys are much more creative than me with the naming of things. So if you guys wanna do that, definitely would appreciate it. But I wanted to sit down and start with the team at Rella. If you don't know what Rella is the app that I am the founder and CEO of, and it is an all-in-one management tool for social media content creators and for influencers. So it's the only tool that you need to run your business as an influencer, and it literally just launched yesterday. So, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, no, 2 days ago.
Tuesday.
It's been 2 days. Time flies, okay. So I'm just gonna be sitting down and asking Natacha and whoever the guest is questions about their career, how they got to where they are, and I'm really excited. I'm excited to also do it with the team. I think I kind of want that to be the intro, like a bunch of people from Rella, because we have so many different team members in different roles, especially as a startup. Everyone is like so essential. So I think it would be cool to do something like that, and I think we all like came together in a very unique way. But also if you want any other careers or anything like that, then let me know. I also have a podcast where I obviously talk to people about what they do for work, about how they started businesses and all of that, but that one's a little bit more like entrepreneurial and very like CEOs and founders and more like, I don't know, like just more entrepreneurial, I would say in general, where I want this one to be really interviewing anyone, all walks of life, in really cool jobs. So I think that's what I want to do here on this channel. And before I ask Natacha questions, I wanted to thank today's sponsor, which is Squarespace. If you don't know what Squarespace is, it is an online website builder, and it is by far the easiest way to build a website. Natacha actually has a ton of experience using Squarespace because she has designed our entire website on Squarespace. So if you guys go to rellasocial.com, you will see how beautiful it looks. I remember when she presented it to me, I like was fangirling over it. Like I was like, this is the nicest website I've seen. Like it is so good. We were both so excited about it. And it's because Squarespace just makes it super easy. You don't need to know how to code. We no longer had to contact our developers to add like anything to the website. Everything is in one place. Our analytics, the forms, SEO, everything is done on Squarespace. So if you are building a website for any reason, whether it's a business, a portfolio, resume, a online store, blog, whatever it is, definitely do it on Squarespace. I have used the other website builders and nothing compares to how easy Squarespace is and how beautiful the websites turn out. So if you want 10% off your first purchase, you can use my code Natalie Barbu, or you can go to squarespace.com/Natalie Barbu and get 10% off your entire order. I'm just gonna ask Natacha some questions and we can get started. All right, Natacha, first I would love for you to introduce yourself.
Okay.
And just give a little like background about who you are and what you do at Rella.
So hi everyone, I'm Natacha. I am the lead designer and marketer at Rella Social. I've been working with Rella for the past like year, doing first the app design screens, and now I'm more moving into social media, communicating with our users. And I've been a graphic designer for the past 5 years, doing freelance, and now moving into the startup space with Rella.
Okay, so how did you decide to be a graphic designer? Because I know that that's your degree, that's what you went to school for. So was that something you always wanted to do, or what was kind of your thought process when you decided that?
So I have a pretty unique story. I knew that I wanted to be a graphic designer since I was 7 years old. And not many people can say that they've known what they wanted to be since they were that age. So my dad is also a graphic designer. He makes fonts. He's been on well-known album covers, on like Bissell vacuum products. So I would just watch him, and he worked from home, so I'd watch him in his office, and I knew that's what I wanted to do.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Wait, what album covers has he designed?
He's been on like Ingrid, I can't remember her last name, but like Ingrid.
Oh, Ingrid Michaelson?
Yes, her Christmas album. He's been on Lauren Elena's country album, her recent one. He's on those sketchbooks that you see, the blue ones. The blue sketchbooks that you see all the time that people use. He's been on like Kashi's cereal boxes. Bissell vacuum, yeah.
That is so cool.
So,
his fonts or?
His fonts, yeah. So his actual handwriting and like the ones that he digitally creates too.
Wow, I did not know that. And I know you also sell your own fonts too.
Yes, so I've been working with him. I need to get like more into the font creation space because it's a source of income that will last forever as long as people buy them. So I would just watch him. I knew that's what I wanted to do. And then going into high school, I did yearbook. So I was one of the lead editors for yearbook. And we had a lot of digital media classes at my high school, and I took one of them twice because I just wanted to get better at design, and the teacher allowed me to retake the class just so I could create more projects. And junior year of high school, I found an ad in a newspaper advertising NC State's design camp, which is for high schoolers, and they come to NC State for a week and they just live like a college life for a week. So I did that, and I knew that I wanted to go to NC State. So I applied for the College of Design at NC State. They only accept 30 people per major. So when I was applying, it was like high stress, like high pressure. I didn't know if I was gonna be accepted, but the one thing that they do is they look at your portfolio more than they look at your grades, so you have like an equal chance and they see the work that you do. So I ended up getting accepted, and I chose NC State because of the connections that you make there, and I knew I was gonna be challenged. Like I knew it was gonna be like hard work. So that's kind of my story as a designer getting into it.
Yeah, NC State is very competitive with graphic design. I feel like I know it's one of the best schools in the country, I think,
yes,
for graphic design. And so in high school, what was the work that you were doing? Was it fonts at that point? Were you just doing things in class? Were you doing things like freelancing in high school? Or like how did you build a portfolio?
So in high school, in my classes, so I was in a like video editing class, and then also like one that taught you like Photoshop. And the thing with these classes, you have to learn the tools on your own. So you would be given the projects, but you would have to learn how to like edit things out, how to add stuff in, like all by yourself. So I was editing like YouTube videos, creating them actually, and just making like little logos, very, very scrappy stuff, so not high quality work. And then in yearbook, I got to transfer all those skills and make it into a book and make cutouts of people and make layouts for the yearbook.
That's cool. I feel like yearbook is one of those things that everyone that did yearbook in high school is like super artsy now and like very cool and does something with like design or art. Like I feel like everyone that was in yearbook club does something like that. So that's perfect.
So true.
What type of jobs can you get as a designer? So I know that you kind of do like freelance work at times, but what are some other jobs and like career choices that you can get if you want to go into design?
Yeah, so one of the things I love about design is just how open-ended it is. And going in as a freshman, like in college, I didn't know like what type of job that I wanted. But specifically at NC State, the classes that you take, you get to learn a bit of everything. So if you want to make logos and do branding work or magazines, there's space to do that. If you want to do like what I'm doing now and do app design, you can do that. You can be a freelancer and work with clients, or you could do corporate. There's so many avenues that you can go in. In college, that was my time to just experiment with what I liked and what I disliked, and I saw that like my studio mates were good at some things and then like I was good at other things. So I did a bit of freelance work, and I did that through Upwork. So I don't know how many people are familiar with Upwork, but you can find people that need to hire a graphic designer and work with them on the platform. And one pro tip for Upwork, I had people that wanted to work with me already, so it's easy on Upwork to build your connections if you already know someone that like wants to work with you. But if you're just starting from scratch and you don't know anyone, it'll be kind of hard to like get your first job there.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many people on Upwork that's like, how do you get discovered? You know, if you're looking for a designer, the top 10 people are gonna show up on the first page. Like, how many people go to page number 10 to find a designer?
Yeah.
It's like Google. Like, no one goes past the first page when you Google something.
Exactly. And so when I would work with those people, I would have them leave reviews, and that's how I got my exposure up. I got a badge from Upwork saying I had like a very good rating, so that's how people found me also.
Oh, okay. And what was your first like freelance job? What were you doing? And did you like it? I feel like people usually don't like their first jobs, so it's...
So my first freelance job was making logos. This was through Upwork and word of mouth. So people would know that I was good at graphic design, want to hire me for a logo, and I had like a set price. I think it was like $300. And that would include like 2 drafts of the logo, and then the client would pick one of them, and then I would refine it and then make the final files and show them what it would look like on like a t-shirt or a mug. So that was my first freelance type of job, and I enjoyed it. It gave me a lot of experience, and I also got to ask my dad for help. Like I would ask him, hey, like, does this look right? How could I do this better? So I had him as a mentor too. And I honestly don't do logo work anymore just because I know that there's people that are better at it, and I like my skills in app design more, but it was definitely a good first freelance job.
So what's your specialty, would you say, right now? Like what would you consider your like niche in graphic design?
So I would consider my niche specifically app and website design. So I could stare at an app screen or a website screen all day and like never get tired of it. I like going into the fine details and moving buttons around, making sure the layout is great. So that is my specialty. I look at other apps for inspiration, and I'm just really in that space of wanting to create user experiences on apps that make you want to open the app.
What do you think is the worst user experience, like app or website that you've found? Because I have one in my head, and I want to see if we're thinking the same thing. I have one like user experience that's horrible, not necessarily the design that's horrible, but
okay, so I saw this TikTok the other day about Venmo, and everyone uses Venmo, and their user experience is fine, but certain things about it, especially the new layout that they made, just like don't make sense. So a couple of the screens are like duplicated, so you could see like your friends' payments, but on one screen, and then on the other screen, it's like the exact same thing. It's just like wasted space. And the whole like private versus public payments, I know is like a big thing. So I'm gonna say Venmo. I think the experience could be better.
I think Hulu sucks.
Oh.
Hulu is my least favorite user experience. Like Netflix, you go, you see what you were just watching, you can click like watch what, like continue episode, continue movie, whatever. Hulu, they make you like jump through hoops to find what episode you were last on, and I hate it. So I don't know if there's like, I mean, I'm sure that there's a method to why they're doing that. Like maybe they want to promote like other things, but for me, it's just very annoying, and I don't like I don't like finding shows on Hulu because I just don't think the experience is very good.
Yeah,
but the design is nice.
Yeah, the design, it's just like the experience, and it makes you want to like get off the app rather than stay on the app.
Exactly. So what do you do at Rella?
So my role at Rella, there's a lot of variety to it. So my day looks different every day. So I edit the website, I edit the app screens, I do email campaigns. So anything that's related to marketing or design that needs visuals and communication, I'm on those projects.
Yeah, she is the MVP. She does so much, and she helps with so much, and she's just such an organized person. She's a fast learner, and it's one of those things that like design and marketing they're not that similar, but they have some overlap, like with social media graphics and things like that. But you really picked it up quickly. Like, were you always into marketing too, or do you think design helps with marketing, or you're just into both?
Yeah, so they kind of flow into each other, and before my job at Rella, I had like one smaller project that allowed me to learn like social media, but before that, I like wasn't really in that space at all. But getting into social media, if you're a visual creative person, is easier and a lot more fun because those skills definitely translate over. And it's just, with design, you're trying to communicate the best experience possible, and with social media, you do that too. So they kind of overlap, and I just liked learning the new skills and being able to make the experience better. I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it was so easy for you to learn marketing and like social media marketing, email marketing, because a lot of it has to do with like how it looks and how the user sees it and how the user is going to like interact with that piece of content. So I think that it does like overlap slightly, especially because your specialty is like app design and user experience. So what is your favorite part of your career? It doesn't have to be at Rella, just like your favorite part of being a designer.
My favorite part about being a designer is that the work always changes and you're never doing the same task every day. I don't know what I would do if some people are really good at that, being at a corporate job and having those tasks that are routine. But for my brain, I need something new like every couple days. And being a designer, if you're in corporate or freelance, you have the ability to pick up new projects, to learn new skills, to be involved in different things that you're not regularly involved in. So that's my favorite part as a designer.
Yeah, and you're very good at that. You're very, like every day I feel like there's something new, and like it's not necessarily, it's like a good thing, you know, it's like a good challenge to take on. And before we go, the last question I want to ask is, what is your best piece of advice to someone who wants to become a designer? So this could be anyone, like not necessarily someone in high school, but if someone's like 25 and wants to become a designer, like, do you have any advice for them?
So I know when you're younger, as a kid, you draw, you color, you do all of that, but then when you get older, you kind of like lose those skills. So if you find yourself like wanting to journal or draw or do something like that, really explore that, and that could lead into so many different things. And try out those free tools like Canva and just experiment with different skills. Yeah, so that's my advice, is just to, if you have that urge to do that, just try it out. Talk to other people that are creative and see if they could give you some tips and tricks, because design is one of those things where you kind of like learn on your own. There's not really people like teaching you like, here's how to color. Like, it's just one of those things that you just experiment on your own. So that's what the advice I would give.
Do you think you either have it or you don't? Is it like one of those careers where it's like, yes, obviously you can always like learn and get better, but like you have to have it at first?
So yeah, I think there's those certain like natural abilities, but I feel like everyone's creative in their own ways. And that's one thing I like to bring out of people, is if they say that they can't like do calligraphy or like draw or something, I will sit down and like show them that they can, because we all have those skills like kind of underneath us. But yeah, with my friends, I love teaching them how to like do little things so they could like find that creativity in them, because everyone has that. Yeah.
You need to teach me, because I am the least creative person. I feel like I have a lot of ideas, and that's where my creativity is. But like in terms of pen to paper, being artistic, designing graphics, doing things like that, like I'm so bad at it. I have the eye for it, like I can tell if I like it or not, or if something like looks good or not, but I'm not good at creating it. But I guess I'm creative in other ways.
Yeah,
There's other creative parts of me. But yeah, all right, well, thank you so much, Natacha, for coming and being the very first guest of this series. And you guys can comment below who you want next, what type of career you want next. But if you do want like longer versions of these and more like in-depth stories of people, definitely recommend my podcast, which is the Real Podcast. This is just kind of a little snippet of what that's like. We get way more in detail there. But Natacha, where can they find you, and where can they like reach out and ask any questions?
Yes, so the spelling of my name is kind of interesting. So Natalie will have the spelling in the description, but it's just my name, Natacha Bompart, and I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, and yeah.
You can find her on Rella's TikTok, Rella's Instagram.
I love creating content for Rella.
Awesome. All right, well, we'll see you guys later. Definitely follow Natacha on social and download Rella if you want to see her work. So Rella is on Google Play. It's also on the App Store. You can download it on your iPad. I actually have it right here, and I was reading like the questions off of Rella because we have a notes section on there. So definitely download it, check it out. But thank you guys for watching, and thank you, Natacha, for coming on.
Thank you.